so this is exciting, I guess, if you're watching it, not if you're experiencing it at the moment. But so we were going down the road. We were 40 miles from the house, and I get this weird, like, ripping sound coming from the engine, and check coolant temperature turns on. I have no power steering, I have no air conditioning, and I have no brakes. Anybody want to take a guess as what it was? So I thought it was some fluke, I don't know, but I go to turn it off and trying to turn it back on a couple minutes later after I let things cool down. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, and we were just right off the interstate. I mean, we were just on the shoulder, and so I finally get over to the off-ramp and I crawl underneath. Serpentine belt. So now you can put all that stuff together. And serpentine belt goes, then you have no power steering, and pretty much everything runs off that drive belt, right? So thankfully, we had some friends that were with us.
Cheers.
Say hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
That's my buddy Mike. And so we were kind of sort of in an RV train, and so now Mike is driving me to the auto parts store. So me being Mr. Multitasker, here's what's going on. My wife is on the phone with Good Sam right now trying to get a mobile mechanic to show up, and we're going to get a serpentine belt because this workhorse engine, even though it's a workhorse part on the belt, which is completely torn up, it's should be an interchange with a regular Chevy 8.1. So we're on our way to get this belt, and maybe we could get back on the road. I've never changed a serpentine belt before in this kind of configuration. I've done it on my truck a number of times, so I decided to call in a mobile mechanic. Maybe this person can get it done quicker. I'm sure this person can get it done quicker, so we will see. We got the belt. Here it is. This is the belt in question. While I was trying to figure out what the heck I was doing, I went online. Thankfully, we had 4G where we were stranded. There's a split in the ears and the belt length. So I'm pretty sure what I needed was a 108-inch belt, and this is what I got. 108-inch belt. After trolling through irv2.com, rvnet.com, workhorse forums, all sorts of stuff, I found about 6 different cross-reference numbers, and this one apparently also fits a Lincoln car and our engine. So I believe it when it goes on. Right now, apparently a mobile mechanic is on its way to the motorhome. My wonderful wife called and got Good Sam to send somebody, and I think we're only going to be out $156 plus the parts that I got. And I also got a 3/8-inch breaker bar just in case I had to do this myself, because that's the size you need for the serpentine belt tensioners. So Mike, what'd you pick up on our shopping trip?
Well, I picked up some DEF because I'm about 1/3, so I got a bunch more. Hopefully it should fill me up. And then I noticed my oil pressure was down a little bit. I haven't checked my oil yet on this trip. I should have done it before I started. That would have been smarter, but I didn't. So since we stopped, I might as well get the oil just in case I need it. If I don't, it goes under the rig and we'll have it for later.
So Mike, what kind of rig do you have?
I have a Tiffin Allegro open road red. I just found out what it was, a Cummins ISB.
Great.
ISB.
I'm teaching them.
And we've got a wacky GPS system trying to make us turn right when we're not supposed to. It says right, but look, it says it's going straight, although it's telling us to go right.
I know. So if you're following along, I'm sure you're not following along, but maybe if you're following along, we bought the Tiffin Allegro 38 QBA. This is on a workhorse chassis, gas engine. It's kind of like a big truck chassis with a gasser up front. And I talked my buddy Mike here. He was RV shopping, and for some reason he listened to me, and he ended up looking at a similar quad bunk model, and they want to step up to a really sweet 38 QBA. So that's the 6.7 Cummins ISB. That's a lot of alphabet soup to say when I have to slow down for hills, he doesn't.
Well, I don't know. I hit a big hill here, and it just slightly started going up, but I was increasing speed, so that's good. on one of these hills.
He's being nice about it. I don't know. We got to get to Savannah. We still have 3 hours ahead of us, so
we'll arrive late.
Yeah, we'll arrive late. Doing the math in my head, but it would beat spending the night in an off ramp. So
that's the truth.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, what is that kind of camping called when you spend the night on an off ramp there?
I don't know. Is it? Yeah. So it's not boondocking. It's probably strandocking or
strandocking. Wait, that's something new. We got to come up with a new term for this.
Strand camping, or I don't know. I don't want to have to come up with a name for it. I'd just rather hit the road. So
that sounds better.
One of the lessons here is that it's good to be educated about your rig, because motorhomes are such specialized things. I mean, you even saw it when we were there at we had O'Reilly's at the auto parts store. And when we mentioned motorhome and such, the guy was kind of like, I don't know. But because we knew the engines that are underneath our rigs, then, and we were prepared with some cross-reference numbers, then that made stuff a whole lot easier. For example, the workhorse, the 8.1, if you look up in the manual, it shows a workhorse part number. Of course, nobody's going to know what that is at a regular auto parts store. You'd just be kind of at the mercy of whatever Good Sam shows up with. But if you Google that, and even better if you have it ahead of time, so now I'm going to buy another one of these, then you're prepared. The other lesson I've learned is that just from Googling, these things go bad every 30,000 miles, which is news to me. I was used to them getting longer intervals in cars, but I guess these are, the rubber ages faster than getting worn out. So I'm learning that. Might want to change that soon. Hopefully next video shows somebody else putting this on, me paying them a reasonable amount of money, and then we get back on the road. See you then. Alright, so here's what's going on. We got the belt from O'Reilly's, and it took a little while, but between Good Sam ERS and them getting in touch with somebody, they sent, I think it's Kellett's roadside. So I think I made the right decision not to attack this myself. I looked at the belt, and I've done this belt before on a different engine at our truck at home, but man, I looked at this thing, it's wrapped around fan clutch. I just started thinking, man, what's it going to cost me to get a mobile mechanic out here? So, 2 guys showed up just recently. They're underneath. They got the old belt off the fan clutch, and we're working on it right now. We might actually make it to Savannah. It'll be dark, but we might make it tonight. We'll see. Well, here's something else now. I just went back to the tow bar setup with our car. So we've got a ready brake setup, and there's a cable that pulls on a little lever that pulls on the car brakes, and it's actually completely disconnected from the ready brake because we lost a cotter pin. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing I found it here. Let's see if I can get this fixed. All right, I think I got this. I had a couple extra pieces of hardware for random things. When I go to Lowe's and I need extra pins, I get more extra pins, so that kind of saved me this time. Anyway, I used one pin to get this thing attached again, then I used another, it's like a carabiner, to keep from losing this one. So hopefully nothing else today. It'd be nice. That's that. I think they were here about an hour, so I'm a little lighter on cash, but really good service by these guys at Kellett & Sons. Really appreciate them coming out here, getting us back on the road. So now back on plan, sort of. Let's go fill up, get on to Savannah.